What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of History Behind the Horror. I'm your host Tay, and for today's video we will be talking about the Charger from Left 4 Dead. If you guys do enjoy this video, by the end of it and you would like to see more Left 4 Dead characters done, like the special infected or even a history of the survivors, make sure you give this video a like and also share it. It helps me out a lot, and make sure you put in the comments for what you want to see next. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. The Charger is a large infected, close to the tank in height and about half as wide. Unlike the tank, the Charger's legs are capable of supporting all of his weight and thus stands mostly upright. His hairless skin is a deep greenish gray in color, and he wears blood-stained denim overalls with one broken strap and a green sneaker on his right foot. The Charger's mutations appear similar to the tank's mutations in terms of increased muscle mass. Most notably, the Charger's right arm and shoulder have grown significantly and have increased in thickness, resulting in his right hand becoming a swollen lump with stubby fingers. This causes him to lean to the right while moving. His left arm has mutated to the point of being useless, possibly from his body breaking it down to add bulk to his right arm, hanging limply to the Charger's side and flapping around with every movement. His legs are less visibly affected by the mutation, only his left leg gaining any sort of extra bulk to the point of ripping his overalls, while the right leg's proportions remain normal. The leg mutations are possibly to balance the Charger, equalizing the weight distribution throughout the body and enabling him to move quite fast. Due to the Charger's preferred method of attack, he has sustained multiple injuries, especially on his right arm. Prolonged times of bashing and slamming into walls have made the flesh of the Charger's right arm thick with calluses, scabs, and scars. Most likely a result of his constant charging, the Charger's right half of his face is visibly damaged. His cranium is possessing a massive dent, lacks teeth, and half of his face torn off, revealing his skull and jawbone. Due to the Charger's preferred method of attack, he has sustained multiple injuries, especially on his right arm. Prolonged times of bashing and slamming into a wall has made the flesh of the Charger's right arm thick with calluses, scabs, and scars. Most likely a result of the constant charging, the Charger's right half of his face is visibly damaged. His cranium is possessing a massive dent, lacks teeth, and half of his face torn off, revealing his skull and jawbone. His nose is completely removed and has blood running from it, signaling massive trauma. Moreover, his dangling left arm shows signs of necrosis. Like other special infected, the Charger has a distinctive sound. He is loud, making noises vaguely similar to human speech and barking at enemies in a high-pitched tone. He will also screech upon spotting survivors and release a roar like a charging bull when starting to charge. While charging, the Charger will run quickly forward with his right arm raised in front of him, using it to grab a survivor. He will run faster than a survivor with full health while charging. If he grabs a survivor, he will keep on charging, knocking other survivors into the air for some damage. He will not stop until he smashes into a solid object or until he passes 80 to 90 feet, at which he will stop himself if he does not crash into an object. If he misses, he will stumble, dropping 2 points of health. After that, he slams the survivor into the ground in 1.5 second intervals until either the survivor or the Charger himself is killed, during which time the survivor is unable to move or attack. This ability does 15 damage per slam regardless of difficulty. He will also slam the survivor into his surroundings, such as against a wall or ceiling. When a Charger starts his charge, should he slam into a wall without a survivor, he will stumble and take insignificant damage from the impact. He does not take damage if he runs far enough without hitting a wall or has a survivor when he hits one. Concept art shows that the developers had planned for the Charger to be either a large zombie with an armored upper skull yet tiny T-Rex arms, or a tripod dog-like animal. Traits of both can be seen in the final version. The Charger has 3 functional limbs and 1 floppy tiny arm, as well as an exposed skull. Before the Charger's design was finalized, they used a reskinned Hunter model so that the team could test out how the Charger would play while the art team was designing it. When the Charger's design was finished, as like any other infected, they recorded temporary sounds. The Charger's temporary warning call was AAA, as said in the developer's commentary. Originally, the Charger had many different series of attacks and has gone through multiple versions with different twists on his charge attack. In one version of his build, his charge attack caused him to trample over survivors rather than grab them, and his melee attack was replaced with an overhead strike that smashed the survivors to the floor before the Charger started pounding them. In another build, the Charger used his mutilated arm to launch forward repeatedly. At this point in the game, the Charger would stop after grabbing the survivor. However, when the Charger could carry the first survivor they tackled, this animation was cut. When most of the Charger's model was finalized, he had a much more bloody and grunt face that exposed his skull. And that ends yet another episode of History Behind the Horde. Now there is a little bit more information about the Charger, just like the Tank and the Witch, which consists of the tactics on how to beat these characters easier as a team or in single player, but I'm not going to go into that one because I feel like more fun comes into it when you figure this stuff out for yourself with either a buddy or a family member or just by yourself. So go ahead and pick this game up. It really is worth the buy, the first one and the second one. If you did enjoy this episode, make sure you give it a like and share it. It helps me out a lot, and put in the comments for what you want to see next on the channel, where it be Left 4 Dead things or it could be other games where it's non-horror or horror wise. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you on the next episode of History Behind the Horde.